On this lesson, we're going to begin working on Illustrator in our illustration of the solar system. So first thing you're going to do is create a new document, of course, and if you don't know how to create one, I'm going to teach you very quickly how. So you're going to go here to File, New, or press Ctrl N on your keyboard. After you do that, a window like this should appear. I'm using the latest version of Illustrator CC, but if you're using a previous version, while different, this information should be exactly the same. So you should pick a size that is big enough, around 2000 by 1400 pixels, and then make sure that you're working on RGB, because this is an image that you are not going to print. And then you hit create, and you should get a document like this. And the first thing we're going to do in our solar system is going to be the sun. So to make the sun, we're gonna use the shape tools, and we're gonna actually use the shape tools for all our planets and all our elements. So you're gonna go here on the tools panel, and probably by default you're gonna see the rectangle tool. So you can click and hold that click, and if you release that click or click again here, you can make this window float, and you can place it near your canvas so you can access them in a faster way, even the ones that doesn't have a shortcut. So that's the first thing that we're gonna do. Bring our window here and select the ellipse tool or press L on our keyboard. After we do that, we're going to create a circle that is probably around this size. And I had already selected my colors to save time, but as we discussed before, each planet is going to be associated with a color that we just saw on the references. So for the sun, I'm going to remove the stroke because I don't need it, and pick a yellow color like this one. And then I'm going to zoom in, and I zoom in by pressing Ctrl plus, and I zoom out by pressing Ctrl minus, and then I pan around my canvas by pressing the spacebar. So I'm going to do that for now, and then I have my sun. And then the next thing I want to do is create some rays for my sun. So I'm going to go here to my polygon tool, and then I'm going to click here. And then I'm going to make sure that I select 3 sides because I'm going to do a rectangle, and I'm going to hit OK. And then I'm going to scale this rectangle by pressing Shift to make it around the size that I like. So I think this is good. And then I'm going to make sure that they are sharing the same axis. So I'm going to select both of them. And if you see here, my alignment tools have appeared. And if you want to see the alignment tools also, you can go to Window, Align, or press Shift F7. And then you're going to see these Align tools. And then you're going to make sure that you're aligning to the center. And you can see that my objects shift, because instead of aligning to my objects, I am aligning to my artboard. So I'm going to change that to selection for now, but it's okay because we're going to move this later. Then I'm going to rotate this triangle around the circle. So to do that, I'm going to go to the rotate tool or press R on my keyboard. Then make sure that I change my pivot point to the center, and then move it while pressing Shift and Alt to make a copy around 45 degrees. And then I'm going to press Ctrl D again to repeat the same action that I just did. Ctrl D again, Ctrl D, Ctrl D, Ctrl D, and Ctrl D until I made a full round. Now I'm going to select these triangles, so I'm going to select everything, and then press Shift and select the circle to deselect the circle, and I'm going to group them. So I'm going to press Ctrl G, and I'm going to actually make this a little bit darker, probably. And this one is okay. And then I'm going to add some texture to the sun, because as we saw before on our references, the sun has some texture. So I'm going to make smaller circles. So I'm going to go and make a circle here, and then make another circle here, and then another one here, and another one here. And I'm going to actually select all these circles. So I'm going to select them all and change the color to an orange one, and I can group them and move them where I think they should go. Then the next thing I want to do is create a face for my sun. So I'm going to make an ellipse tool or press L on my keyboard, and then make an ellipse around this size, And I'm going to change the color to this dark blue. Make a copy, and to make a copy you're going to press Alt and Shift while you drag it. So you make sure that they are pressing, well, by pressing Shift, you make sure that you only move it in a single direction. And if you press Alt, you're making a copy. So I'm going to move it around here. Then I'm going to go and make another ellipse that is around this size. Then what I want to do is go to my direct selection tool or press A on my keyboard. Go to this anchor point and delete it. And you can press delete and then select both these anchor points and join them by going here to connect the endpoints. And then what I want to do is select the top corners with my direct selection tool and then round them a little bit. And now I want to create a rectangle, so I'm going to go to my rectangle tool or press M on my keyboard, and I'm going to give the sun some teeth, so something like that. I'm going to change the color to white. I'm going to align these two objects. Then I want this teeth to be masked on the mouth. So what I'm going to do, first I'm going to use my direct selection tool to round these bottom corners just a little bit. And then I'm going to select this and I'm going to cut it by pressing Ctrl X. Then I'm going to select the shape and go here to this little icon to draw inside. And when I do that, you can see that a dotted line has appeared. And that means that I can only draw inside the shape. So if I press Ctrl Shift B or paste in place, I can paste this rectangle that I just cut it and just add it there. Now to go outside the draw inside mode, you can click here in draw normal or double click outside the shape that you were drawing before. And now I can have my sun. Now the next thing I want to do is move this eye a little bit because I think they are too close. Then I'm going to group both of them by pressing Ctrl G. I'm going to select the mouth, select the eyes again to make them a key object, and then horizontal align center to align them to the center. Now I'm going to group this face, select my circle, click again on my circle, and align to the horizontal align center and the vertical align center. And now my sun is right there. Now I want to add a little bit of a texture to this illustration, so it doesn't look that perfect. So I'm going to select this circle and then go Effect. Then I'm going to go to Distort and Transform. And I'm going to select Roughen. And then I'm going to select Preview so you see what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to change the size to around 2. And change the detail to probably 2.25 or something around there. You can move the sliders here until you find the thing that you're looking for, and you can also change this from relative to absolute. So I'm gonna stick with relative, and you can also make these corners to be smooth or corner. So I'm going to select corner, have it, I think 2 it's okay, but I'm gonna hit OK. And I think this is too much because now it's looking rough, but not exactly the result that I wanted. But it's okay because you can select your shape and then go here to Appearance. And if you don't have this window for whatever reason, you can go here to Window, Appearance, or press Shift F6. And here you can see that you have this roughen effect. So if I click on the roughen, I can access the same settings that I just clicked. So I want to select Preview again so I can see this better. And probably 1 I think is okay. And then let's give it more detail, so around 5. Yeah, I think 5 is okay. And I'm gonna hit OK, and now I have it like this. So yeah, this is something better. You can see that it still is a circle, but it has roughened the edges, so it's looking better. So I'm gonna select these triangles, and I'm going to go here to Effect. And if you see here on the top, you can you have here the options to apply roughen with Shift Control E or roughen with Alt Shift Control E. And the difference is that if you apply roughen, you apply the same settings that you just did, and if you go roughen, you can still change the settings. So I'm going to apply roughen. I'm going to use the same to see if I get something, and this is not giving a lot of things, so I'm going to go here to the roughen and change the settings because I cannot see a lot of variation. So I'm going to change the size and probably change the detail to around that. I don't want this to be like overly roughen. And the difference between the numbers and why on the circle work with smaller numbers and on the triangles work with bigger numbers is because here it's actually applying the roughen to the group and not to every single triangle. So the roughen is happening to the group, but I think this is looking okay. So this is something that I'm just going to leave for now. So I'm going to select everything and group it. That's always a great idea to group something that you know you're going to be moving together. So with this, we conclude our first lesson, and on the next one we're going to keep working on the rest of the planets.